What is up, family? Yo, coming to y'all with another video. I know it's been a minute since I put some videos out, but I've been living, good living, eating good, chilling good, hanging good, just good. This video is about a spot we went to this weekend. Try to do something every weekend big, but we went to this place, Poco Isable de Torres, which I basically say is just the mountain in Puerto Plata, the top of the mountain in Puerto Plata that you've seen in a lot of the other videos. We got a good clear weekend, so we decided to shoot up, me and my boy Luis, and hopped on his scooter and rode up to the top of this joint. Like I said, I've been seeing it since I've been here. I've been wanting to get up there, so this was the weekend because it was a clear day, according to the weather. So hopped on the scooter, man, and shot up that way, man. It was a nice drive. We're gonna pick the drive up on the Malecon, because the drive to get to this point, I've shown you guys a couple times in some other videos, so you can go back and check those videos if you want to see how to get from the crib to this spot. But it's up in the city that's like a little further northwest, I want to say, of the city that I live in. And we're shooting past this too because the Malecon, I've showed you guys this a couple times. It's got all the big stores and condos and restaurants and all kind of stuff on it. And you know, you come up here and hang out, you know, if you want that big city feel like Atlanta, you know, whatever. It's got a lot of the clubs and stuff, you know, right here on the water. Not much of a beach, a lot of rocky stuff, but it's cool to be able to look at the water. I come up here on Sundays and chill with the people, hang out in some of the barrios around here because I know a couple of the people around. So, but it's basically at the foot of the mountain and stuff. So we shot past that, and here I slow it down because you see where we're starting to kind of pull up on the mountain and get ready to start our little climb to go up, man. And to get up to the top, there's like an incline, if you want, if you will, you know, for my folks from Chattanooga, it's just like the incline to go up Lookout Mountain. You know, I don't know what it costs, but when we get there, you know, I was just going to when we got there, I was just going to check the price. Then you know, it's, like I said, none of this stuff is very expensive, but you know, some of the attractions can be, but yeah, I doubt if this was going to be very expensive. But you can see, man, getting to it, man, it's a normal city. This is Puerto Plata. Of course, a lot of motorbikes and all kind of stuff. We're driving through the neighborhoods. Now we're getting real close to the foot of the mountain, because you can see we start going up an incline. And of course, all the motorbikes, a lot of smoke rifles up in here, man. I was like, damn, boy, I'm killing myself. But you just got to get used to it, man, because everybody rides these motorbikes everywhere. And I guess a few were being taxed coming up this hill. And this part is not that steep. It's not that bad. Once you get closer to the entrance where the rail car to take you up, or the cable car to take you up, it gets a little bit more steep. But this was pretty cool just to kind of ride through the neighborhood, see how the locals live, the normal people, kind of like say off the tourist paths, away from you know, all the hustle and bustle. But we got there, made it to the top. This is the top, and the shit was closed. Yeah, they were doing repair on it, man. I was like, oh damn, because it was a good hour ride up, you know. Like I said, that's cut out a lot and sped the video up, but it was a good hour to get here. And that's, you know, not because that's the normal ride, but you know, Lewis rides slow. We stop and, you know, look at some different things and stuff. But it took us a minute to get here, and for it to be closed was like, damn, man. We picked the perfect day, perfect weather. Fucking place is closed with no type of indication. But that's just to be just here. You know, they don't send out any bulletins or put any website up. So you just gotta know. But yeah, it was closed. But you know, that was kind of upsetting. But my boy, Luis, dude knows everybody. So he starts talking to one of the moto drivers that's at the entrance, and this brother tells us that there's a back way to get up to the top of the mountain. I was like, shit, that's even better. You know, the incline probably would have been cool because you could have saw it from the cable car, but, you know, a ride up on the bikes, let's do it. So they talked a little bit in Spanish, of course, and I didn't know what, I was catching about every third or fourth word, didn't know what was going on, but I knew he was making deals or whatever. So we ended up giving the dude like, I think 200 pesos or whatever. And first he was just giving us directions. We was like, nah, man, can you show us where it's at? Because it was, when he got to like the fourth or fifth turn, we was like, nah, we're not gonna risk that. So, like I said, Lewis is talking to him. He's talking to Lewis. Lewis is talking to me. We're kind of going back and forth. And finally, we convinced the dude to, just show us where the road was and stuff. Shoot, he got on him. He was like, cool, 200 pesos. And then as we were going up, he was giving us like a little tour guide, telling us, what this place was and what that place was, which was pretty cool. Took us, I guess we got about halfway, and then he peeled off because the road, there was no more turns. It was just continuous, just going up the mountain. But you could see, man, oh my God, you talking about beautiful. And this video just doesn't do it justice, man. When y'all come down, this will be the next spot. Everybody's got to do the river, but this will be the big trip, one of the big trips, the mountain, and then to the waterfall will be another big trip. But up this mountain, man, I'm talking about beautiful. Man, you passing all kind of trees, fruit trees, you passing all kind of live animals and livestock. You passing all kind of people and houses tucked off up in here, because it looks like it's nothing back here, but as we get up the hill here, it's a couple of different little houses, restaurants, repair shops, processing plants for, I guess chickens and cows or whatever, but yeah, it's all kind of stuff up in here. But it was slow going though, cause like I said, Lewis doesn't have one of the newer motorcycles or bikes here. So we were going very slow, but it was cool though, cause like I said, I got to see, what I want to see, cause I like going slow. I don't like having to clutch and hold on, man, cause some of these brothers, boy, the young brothers, they would get you to a spot in 5 seconds. It's on Google Maps, it'll say 2 minutes, and that joker will get you there in 5 seconds. But Lewis is very slow, very dedicated to telling you where you're at and what you're looking at and all that. So it's real cool, man. Dude, man, is worth his weight in gold, man. I'm telling you, man, one of the best dudes I could have met. But yeah, so he's showing me everything as we're going up. Like I said, the dude that's on the motorcycle, he leaves us a couple of times because he got a supercharged bike or whatever, so he's telling us to catch up. But like I said, I'm trying to look at the mountains. I'm trying to figure out what kind of trees those are, what kind of animals. I'm looking at the construction of the houses. I'm looking at the people that we pass. I'm waving at the kids. So, I'm in no hurry. Plus, it's like early Saturday. I think we got started about 9, 10 a.m. So we made to this point, I guess it's about a little short of noon, probably 11 something. So sun's in the perfect angle to be shooting the video. Everything's perfect, Like I said, I think it was better than riding the cable car up, because, you really got the feel of going up the mountain. Because like I said, when we get to the steep parts, it's going to look like I slowed the video down, it's going in slow motion, but it's actually fast motion. His damn scooter, I was about to tell him, man, yo, I'll just hop off the back of this bitch and we can walk up this mountain, because, we only going about 2 miles an hour. But like I said, even with that, man, because even where it gets steep, the forest is real thick, so you have to really kind of look down off in there to see anything, And like I said, as the way up, like I said, you passing all kind of people. You passing the few tourists that do know this road is back here. Like I said, you're passing the locals, you're passing animals, so it's an interesting ride. So you really don't want to go fast. When we went down, we I wouldn't say we went fast, but we got down the mountain faster than we did going up. And I was kind of like, damn, man, I wish he'd slow down a little bit, but I was getting hungry then, because I'll tell you another story once we get to that point. But yeah, I was getting real hungry by then. So I was kind of cool. He was speeding up. But you can see this dude's telling us everything about what's here, what's there, who owns the land, what, company he came in and bought this, that, and the other. But like I said, he's talking to Lewis, in Spanish, and then Lewis is telling me in English what he's saying. Like I said, he's telling us about everything, you know. Like that's why Lewis is telling me now what he's saying. Then he shoots off, because he actually had to wait on us a couple of times, because when we got, because right here it got kind of steep, and it was hard to kind of get that bike up. But like I said, man, the weather was perfect. It's 82. Even the sun is beaming on you. You feel good. They say high humidity, but like I said, living in Georgia, man, I haven't felt humidity here yet. Even when it's raining, it'll stop raining and you'll be like, damn, okay, there's no moisture in the air. But to them, it's humid. You know, I don't know, but yeah, it's a different kind of humidity, I guess, the way they measure it or whatever. Because it was just a beautiful morning, man. And here we go. This is when it gets rough. When we got on this incline right here, because I was telling them at this point, yo, get some speed up, because I already knew what was up with the bike. And so, man, that thing, I probably should have played the sound for you so you could hear the bike crying, boy, because, you know, I don't weigh much, and I guess Lewis probably weighs about 180 pounds, so both of us on here, you know, we ain't putting too much tax on the bike. But the hill was just so steep. The bike is, like I said, not one of the newer ones. So this is not in slow motion, folks. This is actually how slow we were going. So we probably could have got up this mountain. And you see the other dude's gone. He done left us. He didn't even look back. He was just so, like I said, off into his moment. Probably saying, shoot, I got this quick little 300 peso to go, you know, which wasn't nothing but a 10-minute, 15-minute ride for him. He riding high, because he know when he come back, he gonna grab him a couple of Presidente, probably some chicken and rice and bean off that short little ride, you know. But we finally catch up with him, I think, up a little bit, and then he breaks off. And, you know, because like I said, now it's just basically hill getting to the top and stuff. So we're riding. And you can see the forest is now getting thick. But the higher we get, man, when I'm looking back, which I don't really turn the camera back too much, the views are just amazing, man. There's just little jewels everywhere tucked off in here that you see that you be like, dang, wow, how'd that get there? Or, man, what's that growing over there? Or, man, how did that cow get into that position, you know? And where did this mountain goat come from? And I think we had to stop a couple times. No, we had to stop one time because something ran across the road or whatever. I don't know if it was an ox or something. I think that was when we were going downhill, though. I don't remember seeing too much of anything come when we were going up. Like I said, off in the distance, you could see like mountain goats or whatever, and different heads of cattle and stuff like that. But it was basically the views, because once you get up and start seeing the ocean, the mountains that are actually behind this mountain, well, really hills, rolling hills that are behind these hills, you're like, man, wow, look at this. So I think we actually stopped a couple times. I took some pictures of some of the views and stuff. I probably should have inserted them in here, but the video is already about 40 minutes long. So, but yeah, going up this this part was just slow going. But like I said, man, it felt good though. The temperature perfect, humidity perfect, barometric pressure perfect. I didn't start feeling my ears popping until we got right up to the entrance of the place. But then my ears popped a little bit, and I could tell we were at a much higher elevation than we were, well, than I was, you know, just that morning. Because like I said, I started out the morning on the beach like I do pretty much every morning that's not raining. I, you know, walk down to the beach and kind of try to run a little bit, sweat a little bit of that night out of me. But, yeah, I could tell the elevation had changed dramatically once we got right up to the entrance. But up until that point, though, like I said, it was just normal. You couldn't feel any more pressure than you felt at the bottom. But, you know, it was just a perfect ride. I wish I kind of turned the camera over to the right and to the left. I don't know what my mindset was here. I think I was still thinking about, man, we're really going slow here. We don't, you know, tax the bike too hard, and then we got to catch a ride back because we're pretty far from home base. You know, I don't know what my mindset was, but while I was holding the camera, I was looking, you know, left and right at the views. But yeah, just holding the camera, I think I was thinking, okay, let me just kind of give them a feel of how hard it was for us to get up this hill, because it taxed the bike, and I could tell going down that it sounded just a little bit different. But we finally made it to the top. This is the entrance right here to the mounting activities, I guess you would say. There's a couple of different things. There's a cave up here and some other stuff. So we had to pull over, let the dude know, what we were doing on the property, and he was giving us advice on where to park. That's why the video cut right there, because we had to stop and talk to him. But they got it's like a botanical garden up here, for those that are from Atlanta. Got all kind of exotic flowers and plants and stuff like that. The depressing part was, well, not depressing, but the only bad part about it was, I guess since the cable car wasn't running, all of the restaurants up here were closed, which was like, damn, man. Because I had a little breakfast, but it was real small. So this is coming up into the parking lot of the main area here. And we've peaked the mountain. And like I said, from the hotel when I first moved here, from the condo, from all that, every picture that has every video and picture that has a picture of a mountain, this is it. And man, look at that view. Oh my God, right here. And then the air just tasted, smelled, felt so clean and clear. It was just like, wow. You can tell the difference in being behind all those motos and taxis and buses at the bottom down there. It was just a different feeling. To get off the bike finally after coming up the hill and stretch them legs also felt good. But that's the city, Puerto Plata, down at the bottom that we were driving through. Like I said, man, the video doesn't even do this justice, man. It's just, you couldn't tell where the sky ends and the ocean begins. The ocean's a lot darker blue, but there was like a little line of clouds right between the two, man. I'm talking about just beautiful. So I walked around a little bit. This is me pretty much stretching my legs. I walked down to the furthest point you could go before you got to, there was like a little restaurant at the end, but you couldn't get in because, like I said, it was closed. So, and you see the statue of Jesus back up on the top. We're going to go back that way in a second. But one of the guys, when I did cut the video and was talking to him, he said, man, usually this place is packed, man. He said, because the thing is not working, a lot of people didn't even come. So it was cool to get up there and then not be, that crowded, because we were able to go and check the few attractions that we did go check, without having to wait in line and stuff. But, man, it was just beautiful to come up here and see the big statue of Jesus, man. It ain't like the one in Brazil. But it looks like some pretty good work, man. Sat there and looked at it a little bit when we came back. But just kept it moving, man. Walked through the park here and talked to a few of the people that were here, because you'll see the video cut. But talked to a couple of the people and chilled and just kind of got a feel, looked at the view a little bit. And we actually caught up with the guy that stopped us coming in the gate, because I don't know if he was checking just for security or he was really trying to holler at us about something. But me and this brother ended up sitting down and partaking in some social activities, I'll say. And then he ended up giving us a little more of a tour of the place, because, they have signs up telling you which way to go, but it's a lot of walking if you really don't know, which way to go. If you kind of turn around and go, you might duplicate your steps. Because once you get down off in here, man, it's like all kind of little paths and trails and stuff. But, man, the view was just, I can't even speak on it and articulate what I would really want to say about, how you feel when you're up here as far as the atmosphere, just how electric the air feels, and how when you inhale, your lungs just probably take another 78 pounds of oxygen in, because you're just this high up. I don't know what to call it, but it's definitely a different feel than being down there where it looks like all the little monopoly houses are and the beachfront properties, and it's just a different feel than being down there. And man, the flowers and You know, they got a couple of markers up telling you what each point was and kind of describing what you're looking at. I think I stopped at a few and put the camera on them, but you would have to pause the video to actually see or read, you know, what they were talking about and stay there long enough for that. But you know, it's just like any other trail or any other historic place you go to. It's got markers out telling you what this was and what that was, and you know how this was used for this and used for that, and how they turned it into what it is today. So, but it's definitely a must see when you come to the north coast of the the Dominican Republic, because it's just beautiful. You know, there's no other way to describe it. In the field, and you know, I don't know how it would be with a bunch of people up here. You know, when that thing is open and they got a full crowd or whatever. But you know, right now when we were up there, it was just super comfortable. Like I said, could go to any of the areas, and when we got to where, because you see the sign tells you a couple of different things here: cave, the restaurant, and this, that, and the other different paths. So I think this is where we kind of ran into the other guy somewhere around. I don't know if he was following us or whatever, because he smelled that good. But we ended up linking up, and like I said, me and him sat down and chopped it up a little bit. But yeah, just walking through here, man, it's manicured well, very well taken care of. You can tell it's one of the state managed facilities, if you will, because everything is clean and manicured. Because you can go to some of these places like the Mundo King Museum, you can tell nobody's taking care of that place, man. It's just getting rained on. Whatever happens, happens. You know, it looks like if a 0.2 magnitude earthquake comes, that place is gonna collapse. So yeah, I have safety concerns about that spot. You know, I go there at night and chill sometimes just because it's got some good views, but yeah, it's probably not one of the safer places to go. But yeah, so all this stuff is marked, and like I said, they got all these up, and it tells you about the history of the stuff. So you know, you can read all that if you want to, pause it. But I kept it moving, and like I said, there were a couple forks in the road here that we didn't know which way we really wanted to go, because like I said, it was all new to Lewis. Lewis been here 30-something years. He said he never been up here. I said, wow, you never been up here? He said, man, most of us don't come up here. Most people can't afford to come up here, you know, because you got to buy food and dinner and gas and all that sort of stuff. Most of them ain't coming. So I was like, damn, you've been here this long, never been. So yeah, this was a first for him, because he didn't know about the road to come up the back, you know. He didn't know about the road to go down the way that we're going to go, because it's actually a shorter road to get here from where we were from where we started. But we went all the way into the city of Puerto Plata. You really don't have to do that, because the mountain stretches, I guess the spine of the mountain puts you really about in the middle of Sosua and Puerto Plata. So there's a left you can make off of I-5 way before you get to Puerto Plata. That'll take you up the back of the spine of the mountain, because I guess we went up the front of the mountain. You know, that's why it was so steep. And you'll see the difference when we go back, that it's a lot less of an incline going back down than it was coming up, because it's a longer stretch. So, you know, all this was new to him too. So I was glad I was able to get the brother out, show him some stuff. You know, I told him when my son comes down, we'll bring the boys up, you know, and we'll come back up here all together and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a nice spot, man. Like I said, those of y'all that are into flowers and trees and exotic plants and all that stuff, and butterflies and, you know, different, I guess, insects and stuff like that, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And you see, there's people, you know, not a lot, but there's people that hike through here, and I guess the ones that live real close, they might come walk up to get exercise. I wouldn't walk up this, because like I said, we had a hard time on the bike. I wouldn't walk up that mountain, but we did see a couple of people, you know, getting exercise, walking up the mountain, on the main street with no sidewalks. You know, I'm not trying to risk it, because it's just too much of an incline. Anything could happen. There's nowhere to really jump off on the sides, because there's drop-offs. That's another thing about this country, man. All them safety regulations and all that stuff we got going on in the States, the railings have to be a certain height. Down here, you better hold on to your kid. That motherfucker will fall off the side of a mountain in a minute, fall in a crack, in a hole, fall off a balcony. The sidewalks all jacked up, all that ADA access we have in America, and you have to have standard sidewalks with a wheelchair. Man, down here, buddy, ain't no regulations on none of that stuff. You come to these parks, it's as is. And they don't even make you sign nothing. You just know your head, something fall on you, or you fall off the side, that's your ass. Ain't no damn you suing nobody. They might not even come get you. Hey man, is he dead? Okay, he okay over there. Yeah, ain't no regulation, but so you better hold on to your kid, or you better have your kids maneuverable and mind in your head, cause if they run off, or something eat them, or whatever, it's your ass. Ain't no safety signs up. Don't lean here, don't reach over it, nothing. None of the railings are up to, I think it's 4 feet, 5 inches or something in the States that you have to have railings up. Nah, You go to some of these places, museums and exhibits and excursions, man, it's at your own risk. Now they might tell you this ain't for a 12-year-old or this ain't for somebody less than, 5 years old. They might say that, but man, I'll tell you, ain't no railings. Like I said, if you handicapped, man, it ain't no handicap accessible. I have seen a couple parking spots. I give them that. I have seen a couple parking spots at a couple places. But man, when you get out of these buildings and stuff like this, man, it's at your own risk. I'm telling you. And we ain't signed no waivers or nothing. I'm talking about. That's for all the excursions. I done been on boat rides and back up in these jungles and all this stuff, man. I ain't got no waivers on none of this stuff. I've been on groups. Well, before I met Lewis, I've been on group rides to on them 4-wheelers, and man, shoot, you get thrown out one of them 4-wheelers, cause where they take you, man, it ain't none of the bridges got rails back up in there. You ride outside one of them bridges, but you might fall 60, 70 feet. Because ain't no railing there. But this is one of the prettiest spots that was here, man. I really enjoyed coming down here and seeing these fish. And it's like a little waterfall. I don't know if I kept the video running that far before I cut it. But there's like a little waterfall that kind of fills this pool up in the back. But man, these fish will follow you all around, because I guess they're so used to people throwing food in there for them. But yeah, they follow you all the way around when you move around the edge of this place. And then there's like, I don't know, 3 or 4, I could look like about 3 or 4 different species of fish in here. I couldn't really tell. But yeah, this was nice, man, just to kind of chill right here. I'm sure Mason's gonna love this when he come down and check this out. But big fish too, man. I'm talking about big. The camera doesn't do it injustice. You reaching in and try to get one of them things, they might pull you in. But it was cool just checking it out. And we went here, then we went to like there was another trail that took you through another garden or something, and then there was a trail that took you I think a little further down on the crest of the mountain. I guess that's what you would call it, kind of like up on the peak spine of the mountain that we went down. I cut that part out the video too, so save a little time, because I saw that it was getting long after I added the part of descending down the mountain. I kind of cut that part, so it wouldn't be an hour-long video, because I'm gonna have to put this one probably on YouTube, Facebook. I don't know if they let me put an hour video up or 45-minute video up. I'm gonna put this one up on YouTube, and you guys can check it there. Or that's where you're probably checking it from. But this is the little waterfall that comes down and fills up the pool. It was pretty cool and calming to sit out here and listen to that, and see how it looks, man. I guarantee this probably man-made, the way they kind of put the rocks around there, but it's probably a natural spring or something that is coming from, that's feeding this little lagoon area right here. But it's kind of green and murky. Everywhere I've been here, I'm so used to seeing crystal clear water. So this was kind of surprising to see it kind of murky and green, but I don't know if it's because of the algae in it and the type of fish they have there that they thrive off, whatever, keeps it green, because everything else is manicured there. So I don't think it's neglect or anything. I just think it's some type of natural algae that the fish thrive in. Then they had this little section right here. I walked up, and you know how you go to some places and they had a fake little shit out there. Man, these are real turtles, man. In the video, you can see they look real, but really in real life, they weren't moving until I kind of caught, the two that are in the water, and I thought the rest were just, like plants, planted there just to kind of make it look populated. But no, all of those turtles are real and alive, and who knows how old, but yeah, they're doing what they do. But I guess they keep them separated from the fish there. I don't know. They have a rivalry, the fish gang versus the turtle gang. But yeah, like I said, it was cool to chill down there for a minute. Then, like I said, this is the other dude that kind of met up with us. This is after me and him done sat down and chopped it up. He was showing us, because I was asking him, I saw the signs for the cave, and I was asking him, oh man, where's the cave at? I'm thinking it's going to be some super deep cave, we can go down off in and, maybe have to climb a few rocks. You know how the shit you see on TV, them kids get, the movie where the kids got stuck up in the cave, So Lewis is already telling me, yo, I'm not going in no cave, man, like I said, because he's never been up here. So this is all new to him. Hey, man, I never been in no cave, I'm not going in no cave. And then from looking at it from this red railing right here, it did look like it was deep down off in the cave, man. I'm like, okay, this might be a little fun. And he tell me, nah, I stand up here and wait on you. You're getting a little too adventurous for me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go down off in the cave, man. I'll tell you what it's like when I get back. I'm talking shit the whole way down. I'm like, I'll see you in about an hour. Man, the cave was about 6 feet deep. And you'll see, because I'm going to be at the end of it in about 2 seconds. And I got Lewis to take a picture of me. But that is it. That's what they call a cave. I was like, man, that ain't no damn cave. Because, I'm used to Rock City and Ruby Falls and going in them caves up there, man. This was nothing. Yeah, so we laughed about it. And like I said, the little guy, he was laughing at me because I was like, man, what is this mess? So, yeah, I stood there and took me a little picture, and that lets you know how deep it is. That's the end of it. Where it gets, like, real dark right there, that's actually a wall. So, no, it was nothing. So we got up out the cave and did the last little walk through here, which is through this little garden, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I forgot what kind of flowers he told me to line this thing, but it was cool to walk through it. Like I said, after we done been up there chopping it up, to do this part was pretty cool because everything looked real vibrant when we started walking through. And it's very well manicured. It's a trail. I think it took us about maybe 10 minutes to walk through this part and stuff. So, but it was cool though. Like I said, and off to the left and right, it's all kind of other little flowers and trees and little wildlife running around, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you can see there's no railings. There's no, don't watch your step signs and all this other stuff. There's no be aware of the animals and all that because you don't know what's up in here. Like I said, you just better be able to run and don't be the slowest one in the group. Because, yeah, ain't no telling what's up in here, man. And they really, like I said, man, it's activity at your own risk is basically what it is. But yeah, looking over to the left, the right, it's all kind of little stuff up in here. But who knows how long it took them to put this together. But it was nice. And then got to the end and it was more flowers and another little fork here asking you what you wanted to see next. And like I said, all the restaurants were closed, which was like terrible right about now because like I said, I really done got an appetite. Now I'm like, yo, we got to bounce, man, because I done seen enough. Because I guess we were up here, I guess about an hour and a half, just kind of chilling. Because me and old boy sat down and talked. He was, giving me a brief history of the place and how this became this and that became that. About a plane that crashed into the side of the mountain a few years back. And all kind of stuff he was telling me about. But yeah, at this point, man, I'm starving, man. Now we got the hike it back to the dang motorcycle, which was a little bit uphill here. And then once we got back up to the other fork in the road, it was another steep little incline, man. And like I said, man, my legs now pretty much shaking. Cause you know I'm a skinny dude. I ain't got too many reserves on me. So once I depleted what's in my damn system, I'm hungry. So this is the last little climb. Even I'm talking that shit, but I still wanted to go to this other little bridge here that was here. That's like the top of the top. So this was the last thing that we did. So I actually climbed this bridge, went up, and it gave you a better view of not the city, but behind the mountain, which has all of like the rolling hills, and you can see, I guess, a couple of other little smaller mountains, if you will. But you can just see how much land is available and how little the city takes up as far as the land mass in Puerto Plata. That's what was surprising to me. I'm like, man, there's still a lot of building they can do down here. And I bet in 20 years, because you can see all this is untouched. They haven't put, and it might be a few little houses back off in there. You can't see them. They're just specks on the video. But when you're standing there, you can tell there's a couple of houses and a few developments, you know, back off in those hills. But look at all that land, man. And the city is right there. Bam. But that's it. That's all it occupies right now. And one of the spots I was gonna get is like at the edge of the city, and it kind of sits up on the mountain at the foothill there. But man, there's a lot of land out here yet to be touched. And I guess that's why so many people are coming down here, because they can get the land for cheap. But it's starting to go up now. I've been hearing some stories of stuff starting to go up. But yeah, a lot of people are moving, a lot of expats. I think this is the #1 tourist destination for Americans. I wouldn't say the North Coast, but Dominican Republic in general is one of the #1 tourist destinations for Americans. And I see a lot of Europeans here too, so everybody's coming here. They're buying up stuff. Man, it's just opportunities as far as property are just endless. So if you got a little piece of chunk of change, man, come down here and invest, because it is a lot of land available. And if you are willing to get out a little bit and wait on it, you're getting it for pennies on the dollar. You know, you can stretch out, get you a couple acres for you dudes that like to be in the country. And man, it's just beautiful. But we eventually left, hopped on the scooter. I sped this part up because we're going down. It was a lot of trees and stuff, and you know, I just was pretty much tired. I didn't really want to hold the camera going back down, but I said that's a part of the experience, so I'll do it. So we hopped on the scooter, and lo and behold, we get about halfway down, and man, the views got beautiful again. So now I'm like, slow down, man, slow down. Let me take all this in, because I don't know when I'll be back up here. Because like I said, we try and do something different every weekend, every other weekend, depending on how the weather is. And if I got people in town, because I pretty much got people in town for the next 4 or 5 weekends or whatever. But yeah, this, man, the views got even better coming down. And you can see it's not as steep as going up, but this is the different way than which we came. And it puts us closer to our destination than if we took the path back. But it was a pretty cool ride. We, like I said, this is sped up a little bit. We weren't really going this fast, but we were going pretty good, at a pretty good clip, because he pretty much had it in neutral. We were just coasting on the brakes and stuff to get down. And yeah, once we got back down to this area, you start seeing, you know, residential homes, farmhouses, some pretty big joints back up in there too, man, which would be $1 million joints back in the States. Are built back up in here, man. Then there's, once you get a little further on down, there's like resorts and stuff like that. But man, this was a nice little weekend outing, man, hanging out with Lewis, man, and the other moto driver that, you know, kind of gave us a short little tour. Man, it was real cool. Hope you guys have really enjoyed the video. Probably won't put another one up for a while. Like, I'm getting ready to do a trip to Santiago when Stu gets back. Then I'm going to Santo Domingo with a couple of friends, and then Las Terrenas. I've got some invites to a couple of other cities, so I'm finna stretch out from my little area here on the North Coast and see some more of the country. And I'll bring you guys some videos from some of those spots, because I pretty much worn out Sosua and Puerto Plata and Cabarete. I've given you a video on pretty much each one of those cities. Not so much Puerto Plata, because Puerto Plata is pretty big. I've only shown you the Malecon and now the mountain, and I think one other residential area that a friend of mine lives in. But now I'll bring you guys some videos. The next one will be probably Santiago or Santo Domingo, depending on which one I go to first. And then some of the other smaller cities in the country. But man, I'm enjoying myself down here, man. Don't be up there hating, man. Come on down. And I'm gonna show you a good time, man, because this brother showed me everywhere as far as those 3 cities. And I know some good spots, man. Depending on how long you're here, we'll hit as many as we can and get into the shenanigans. You can't come down here without getting into the shenanigans. It's just something. But we ended the day at our favorite spot out in the country, man. This is Alexandria's. She wasn't here today, but we met the chicken fighters. This was what got me sparked to go and see the chicken fights the next day, which I showed you a couple of clips on that. But yeah, this was the spot, family. Peace.